All right, welcome back. 2006 World Series rematch here. So we are looking at the '06 Cardinals versus the '06 Tigers. The Cardinals did win that World Series. Big one for them to win, especially with their two losses to the Red Sox. I think if they had lost that one, really would have looked back at the last 20 years and felt like they had missed a pretty good window where they had good teams solidly throughout. So if you do the Bill Simmons simulate this 100 times, I think they probably win two World Series, the most common outcome. They maybe win one of the Red Sox World Series. But this one they win with not their best team, but a couple good players. I mean, David Eckstein, this guy be super popular in single season draft. 8 speed A +5 shortstop. I know people love that. In single team in this type of tournament, it's useful because he's going to solidify an infield all by himself. There are places in the lineup you can do good things, lead him off here. So, big question coming up second and third is what do you do with Pujols? I mean, you just have a monster with Pujols here who can do 17 to 20 homer. He's got the first base +1, 14 to 16 double. I mean, he's just going to do big damage, 1 to 2 out. One of the better cards in this entire tournament on the offensive side. There's an argument to put him second, get as many at-bats out of him as possible. But you can get Rolen on base in front of him. Roll can get himself in scoring position, 15 to 18. So after that, we go down to at least 2 8s who have big damage there, especially Chris Duncan. So Spezio is a good 8, and then they have a pretty solid lineup through there. So only having to play 1-5, and that 5 single-handedly shuts down the running game with Yadier Molina with a catcher +8. Nice to see they only have to play 1 speed C, and that's a speed C 12 in Scott Spezio. So very average speed. This feels like a very Tony La Russa team as you look at it. So infield +13, that is incredible. Not the 14, not the 2000 Mets with the 14, but great fielding there. Outfield +5 is great. As you can see, mediocre speed. I think they are going to play by National League rules because they only drop off Belliard. They get to keep their infield score, and then they'll obviously pick up the pitcher. And we'll see that as we scroll down and see the Tigers line up, why I believe that is the case. We scroll down, we have the Chris Carpenter with the I believe this is a top 10 ERA custom card. This is a 6 control, 1 to 16 single. So that means no double, no walk, which you'd be scared there against speed teams, but he is best friends with he's going to be best friends here with Yadier Molina, who can do good things for him. Who can do good things to protect him, not let people steal against him. So those two guys in constructed would be great. Obviously great to have that type of natural synergy in a pre-done team like this World Series team. Not the biggest ground ball in the world, but you can live with that. He has, we have the option here for 6, which is good, which is big, but not taking as much advantage throughout as you would like. I guess you have reasonable ground balls, but nothing crazy. Suppan, boring 5. This is that David Cone card. So pretty good. What you expect out of World Series teams. The third starter is somebody the Tigers are going to need to do damage against. They're going to get some 20 homers. The Tigers are going to get a good bit of homers this series because 3 of the Cardinals pitchers give up home runs. So if they get some timely 20s, that's their way to get back in this. And they can definitely do some damage against the third starter for the Cardinals here. Cardinals love to see a 2-inning pitch guy here, but it is a 3 who the Tigers would like to see because they have the 7s who can do big damage. He's pitching 2 innings, so he's going to face those 7s at some point, or you're going to just not use the 3 innings pitch. Not a super exciting bullpen. Brandon Looper's probably going to actually be used as the closer. 6 who can't give up a double. So 1 to 15. Okay. Same as Carpenter. Tough to manufacture runs as long as Yadier's in the game. So nice to see a young Adam Wainwright here too. Love seeing these names. Jeff Weaver subbed in for Mark Mulder, both of which were just guys with decent control but had horrendous charts because they were winning games despite getting shellacked all year. So going to come down here to the Tigers. So Tigers really have only 2 on-base weapons here in Guillen and Maglio Ordonez. The question is, how do they choose to use them? Anytime you have a 10-speed A, you're going to be excited in a tournament like this because you just have the ability to create runs. 14 to 15 single plus. Normally you'd be excited there, but you're going against an 8 catcher. So are they going to run there? I don't think they're going to run against 8 too often without getting some help here. They're not a very fast team in the sense of plus 20 speed. They got a 19 here. I guess I got Granderson at 21. So maybe they're going to try some steals with Granderson, but it's going to be tough. I don't think they'll steal if they lead him off. I am very interested to see how this lineup goes. I think against Carpenter it ends up being Guillen and Ordonez 1-2, and then you just go with big damage 7s. After that, it's not that you're in love with it, but that's what your option is, because you have big damage 7s. You probably put Granderson third, so he's not grounding into double plays behind Ordonez, and then you just hope that Thames, or I think it's Marcus Timms is how it's pronounced. I'm trying to remember things from a while ago. Also think he was the guy who homered off Randy Johnson in his first plate appearance in the majors. So see if he gets the advantage, he can go deep. That feels like the big weakness here of this team is this is American League. They got +7 because the shortstop +0 for Guillen. So they get to bailed out because Infante has the +3 and they get to DH Guillen. Go over to the National League rules where we drop Infante off, very similar to Ronnie Belliard, who the Cardinals are dropping, except for Belliard's DHing, and Guillen's and Infante's playing the field, so their infield goes down to 4. Just another small edge they get to gain. Catcher +10, Pudge. You're not going to see any steals out of the Cardinals all series, so don't worry about it, not happening. Coming down to the pitching staff, boring here all throughout. 5-1 to 15 with 2 walks, 5-1 to 15, 1 walk, bigger strikeout, 4-1 to 15, 2 walks, Kenny Rogers, big ground ball. So it is going to be interesting if this is going to be effective. I don't think it will be. I think the Cardinals will just be able to manufacture, 2 more runs a game against this Tigers team. Better bullpen. Obviously, you're not seeing any homers on any of the charts here. You got Todd Jones, despite not striking anyone out that year, was able to avoid big damage. 1 to 16 is a 4. Pretty good. Probably going to be the actual closer, my guess. Joel Zamaya. Maybe used there with the 2-inning close, do the Keith Folk role. So, depends on how they want to use that. Got the bigger strikeout, can defend himself in that way, especially in the National League Park. Rodney's, they don't have a 6, they got a 5. And they're getting a lot more out of their fourth starter as a reliever. So, solid bullpen. I think they'll have the ability to pitch few tired innings. I think the Tigers lose this series pretty handily. 5-game series, maybe 6 if they stretch it out. But that is how I see this one going. So, if there is anything that I am missing, or if you guys think that I am wrong, please put it in the comments below. Look forward to playing this series out, though.